Hello, moviegoers. You're listening to Stoplight Spoilers. My name is Isaiah. Later, you'll meet my co-host, Jake. This is the podcast where we break down movies on the car ride home. This week, we watched Gifted, this movie about the little girl who does awesome math problems. We're going to break it down and let you know what we thought. Let's do it. Warning, the following contains spoilers. Listener discretion is advised.
Alright. I started last week. Do you want to start this week?
Start.
Your first take. Even though it's not what it's called anymore.
My first take of Gifted, since let's make sure we say something about what the movie is, even though the text is going to say Gifted. But
I plan on probably recording intros.
yeah, that would be good. I think intros are good.
That way, you know, whatever happens as soon as we start.
Yeah. One thing I dislike about these late movie starts is I'm tired right now. Like, I'm sleepy. So, like, this stupid crap right here you're going to have to cut out because I'm yawning. Anyway, I was very much pleased with the movie. Especially because you know how, like, sometimes I'm very just meh about movies that are based on true stories.
Yeah.
Because typically, because they are so factual, being based off of true stories, it makes the artistic or the excitement, I don't know, that stuff, to me, I miss it. But tonight, I felt like it was so raw, and it could also have to do with the fact that I am a dad. Yeah. I have a daughter. You know, your daughter is even closer in age, you know, so it's like some of the emotional stuff they went through, I could picture myself.
Yeah.
And so it pulled on my heartstrings a little bit, some of the stuff, you know what I mean?
It was a solid movie.
A very solid movie. Would I own it? Absolutely. I will. I've already planned to buy it because I know that Teresa will like it. And I liked it so much I might try to revisit this movie with Teresa and actually go again. Correct. Because I think she missed out tonight.
Yeah.
I think she would enjoy it. Because I like The Shack, and she wanted to see The Shack, but it got out of there, I guess.
Yeah.
And with this one, I think it's equally as fun as that movie. And first take on it, like, I'm way up there on the scale. I mean,
I can't find a fault.
I don't want to say a 10 necessarily, but I mean, I'm definitely a 9.
Yeah.
Okay.
9
and
plus sounds good.
Yeah, rewatch value, I have to give it also a 9.
I'd for sure. Like, it's just a feel-good movie.
I liked it extremely well. I really think it was awesome. Horrible with names sometimes with actors, but Captain America, because I can't think of his name. Which makes me look like an idiot trying to talk about folks. That's one thing. I'm going to review the stars of the movie before I go and watch the movie from now on so that I have it fresh in my head. Anyway, I think seeing him in a role that was not Captain America and his performance was so extremely believable, genuine, and the little girl, homegirl, man, she's got some skills.
Yeah.
She may not really be a math whiz, but she's an actress, like, hardcore.
Yeah, for sure.
Because, like, and then he's taking hits in the face, his head from this little girl, like, she's hitting him. Like, genuinely
I think
hitting
she did
him.
a really good job.
Yeah.
Like, she was...
So anyway, I'm getting way, way far into the movie. Definitely would own it, and I really appreciated seeing him outside of a superhero role to where he played an average person. Not average, you know, a typical person.
Yeah.
You know, I think the grandmother, I enjoyed her. She was also in one of my favorite movies of all time, About Time. She is his mother in that film. And I enjoyed her role in that movie just supremely because she was very genuine British as well as she is now, but it's a different world of Britain. She's acted both roles. Yeah. And I think both roles were equally believable.
Yeah.
Like, she feels superior in a way because, you know, one, she's got money, but two, because she's got smarts, like things like that. In the other movie, she was just so genuine in the fact that she just felt so real and so raw. Like, her character to me was just if I walked up, I think that I could have a conversation with that person because of how she's portrayed it.
Yeah.
So I really appreciated her too. And then I feel like her name is Octavia, the black lady, the one that played God in the Shack.
Like her.
I feel like her real
character?
name is like Octavia or something.
I have no idea.
It's a funny name.
What is her name in the movie? I forgot that already.
I don't remember.
D-sound maybe? I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, I liked her. It was fun to see her in a very distant support role.
Yeah.
But
her character was really fun.
But I absolutely loved it. Now, and it's not... Oh, what I was going to say. I like, for example, The Shack. It was very biblical, and it was very spiritual, right? One thing I really liked about this is, as a father figure to her, he was not trying to impose anything on her. He was like, I can give you information, and I can tell you things, but some of the questions...
Your own girl.
Correct. Some of the questions she would ask, he'd be like, well, that's my opinion. I can give you my opinion.
Yeah, it was fun.
And I really liked that whole entire scene was so good because he didn't say, oh yeah, I'm a Jesus freak, but he also didn't discredit Christ either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I really enjoyed the aspect that, no, they ain't saying, hey, the only way through the Father is through the Son, blah, blah, blah stuff. But they're saying Jesus is a good guy. Yeah, be like that dude. You know, he was good. I mean, you can't argue with that fact.
Yeah.
Regardless if you want to believe he's a savior or anything, he still was a good guy. So I like that was incorporated in his lessons to her. And I have to say, I can see what he was saying. Like, I don't want to mess her up. I genuinely felt that. Because, I mean, I've thought, man, when I first knew I was going to have Caitlin, it was like, whoa. That is a lot. And then, like,
it's a huge burden.
Every little thing, you're like, because I know that there's some things that I don't do right. And I'm like, man, I don't want to mess her up. And it's just like, man, when he said that in the movie, it hit me hard. I mean, I didn't cry at it, but I was like, ooh, that's rough.
Yeah.
But where are you at on it?
I agree with everything.
All right.
No, I think it's really good. Solid. I had 9+.
Yeah.
And I'd watch it again, and I'll watch it on your Vudu.
All right, fair enough.
No, I would purchase it, but you're probably going to beat me to that.
Well, it is such a good movie, and so let's break it down for its core. Because I've started off with so much positive, I will voice my one gripe. I had one gripe for the entire movie.
It's probably the same thing.
Oh yeah, it's going to be the same thing. But why did we have to go Jason Bourne on a few of the scenes?
I forgot about that. But that's
like
the boat scene was really bad.
It's called a gimbal, right?
I don't know.
The gimbal, the Steadicam things, aren't those called gimbals or something like that? Get one. There was no sense in it shaking like that.
The only one I really noticed when they were on the dock or whatever, they weren't actually on the dock, but I thought maybe they were trying to do ocean, but I didn't like it.
Are you talking about when the lawyer was talking to him? No, see, he was in a shop.
Oh, I know, but like they were next to the ocean.
Oh, it was horrible. It was horrible.
My only thing that I could come up with. For that.
So that is definitely a supreme gripe.
They're trying to maybe show that there's a lot of emotion and tense, but
then that's what you use your creative angles for.
It wasn't working.
I can't, because you know me, I'm very generous when it comes to the term art, for example. I view, hey, you know what? Who am I to say what is actually art and say impose my thoughts on anyone? But shaking a camera and calling it, videography is not art in a scene that it does not call for. Action scenes make sense when people are having a conversation.
Yeah, it didn't.
They're not fighting.
No,
there's nothing going on.
There's a lot of emotion in the scene, but it didn't fit it. It did not fit.
There was a few times in the movie they followed those and they had those scenes. However, that was the worst one.
Yeah, that's what I was
by
like. By
far.
Jacob's going to say something.
And I leaned over and I said something to you right there in the movie theater. I tried to keep it minimal in the theater to not disturb you nor anyone else. But things like that, man, I got to call out.
My other thing that I had an issue with was the time period of clothing and technology did not really match up. Like,
I think what they were going for is a small town that isn't backwards. That's kind of what, as it progressed, and I gave it a little bit more thought during the movie, it's a very small town.
So do you think this is almost modern day? Like,
oh, yeah, I think it very much was modern day. She just got a MacBook Air.
Okay. So this is where I'm going.
I mean, I would say within the past decade. So I don't know when it was set.
And then she goes and looks at pictures of her mother with her grandma.
Uh-huh.
And the pictures look quite dated. But she died like 7 years ago or something. It wasn't...
Fair enough. No, I get that.
Like, that didn't...
Ooh, you raised a good point there.
Didn't match up either.
So let's say it was set a decade ago.
Maybe.
Let's say it was.
Yeah.
You're right, those pictures don't fit. Because some of those were kind of like Instamatic prints.
Yeah.
And if she's only been dead for 6.5 years, and those were adult pictures of her, I agree with you fully.
That didn't make sense.
Oh, that is an interesting one. Now you done got me thinking about it. Is there anything else I missed because I like the movie so much?
No.
Dang it, it's an 8.5 now.
No, I
just kidding.
I was really confused because I was like, oh man, I felt like it was pre-computer age we were in when we started the movie.
Yeah, it definitely felt older.
And then she Googles. I was like, wait, what? I'm so confused.
There was no other references to... Well, but how long's Google been around? It's been around for a while.
I know, but I felt it was old. I don't know.
Yeah, it definitely didn't... It felt odd at first.
Do you just want me to go into my notes, or do you have other things to talk about? Okay. When she's getting on the bus, he said to her, "You're going to meet kids that you'll borrow money from for the rest of your life." What did that mean? Did you catch that?
I think he was just making a joke that you're gonna meet people that are gonna be your friends later.
Okay.
That's what I took it as.
Maybe it's a saying or something.
I took it as face value. Yeah, maybe it's a saying, but I took it at just what he said.
I see what you're saying. Like you borrow money from friends. Okay.
Yeah, you borrow money from friends.
I didn't even... Thank you.
That's what I took it as. Am I correct? I don't know.
I don't know either. I did like the teacher's attempt to challenge her student as a teacher, from a teacher's perspective.
And with the bombshell, when she was... why couldn't they actually visit that? Why couldn't there just be a tiny little something other? Oh, so you're a professor, huh? Like... Yeah, something, because
I feel like
they dropped that bombshell.
Scenes.
Yeah, it might be in deleted scenes. Because they dropped that bombshell. She's in the courtroom. She's like, really? That's fun. Yeah. You know, she's like, he's already simpled my sapple. At least kind of cool to find out he's a college professor. That's cool.
Simpled my sapple?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, you know what I'm saying? And so she's like, wow, I like this guy even more now, you know?
I like the scene in the bus where she liked the kid with this awesome art project and she stood up for him. That was a fun scene. Yeah,
I think that all of that stuff was to set the stage and showing how well he has raised her.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, absolutely. There's room for improvement. There's room for growth. That's just typical, you know, with a 7-year-old, right? But you've got... She wasn't going to let that big old kid bully the other kid.
I really loved her character. Like, I wrote down here that she's the cutest kid ever. Like, just her snarkiness, like her just...
Nobody likes a smart ass. like in the trailer, they say that in the trailer, right?
Yeah.
But it did not carry nowhere near as much awesomeness as it did in the movie.
She had so many good one-liners. It was good.
But when she did it in the movie and delivered it, it was one of those things. Wow, the trailer didn't ruin that. In fact, it was better in the film.
I wrote about Mary's teacher having hots for Frank. I was right. This is a fun quote. Ronnie Middleton, he sounds like a dick.
Yeah, it was.
That was really funny.
I also like, too, that where she was like, but they're idiots. She goes, no, I would try to encourage you to have compassion, not to view people as idiots and stuff. She goes, well, what if they don't like me? Then they're idiots. It was good.
It's funny that I like how they played out with the sex with the teacher. That the daughter caught him. Obviously, that was going to happen. I saw it coming, obviously.
Right.
But it was a fun scene. I like just how she smiled. Good morning.
Yeah, she said it just like she was in class.
Yeah.
I think that had the teacher just walked on by, I think she was so engrossed in the fact she was looking for a movie. Instead of her screaming, she could have just walked right by.
Yeah.
Never would have known.
Yeah. Or shut the door. One of the hardest moments of it was, can I get 5 minutes of my own life?
Oh, God, yeah. That was rough.
But I will say he redeemed himself.
That was a deep cut.
He was.
He was frustrated. And, and I can see that in me as a dad, not that exact line, but meaning there's rules, there's things we've talked about, you understand the rules, and, like, I can see where that frustration came from. Excuse me. So I was just like, man, but it was like, oh, that little girl. And then he did promise, which that's kind of a hard thing to promise, not knowing the situation.
Yeah.
You can be hopeful and hope that everything works out in your favor, but to promise a kid something that you actually cannot guarantee is it's a dangerous place to be in.
A rough scene.
Yeah.
The whole section.
The whole section of the movie was rough.
I like that when she's talking to the psychologist. What is her name?
Interesting thing about that
Mary.
Interesting thing about the psychologist, they never brought that back either. They didn't use that in any grounds to discredit him.
That was kind of a pointless scene, but it was cute because they were talking about UFC and SpongeBob.
And she was also talking about how awesome her uncle is.
Frank wanted her before she was smart. That was in that
scene. That was cute. He wanted me before I was smart.
And I enjoyed the Google scene. Another Google reference. There's 3 separate Google references in this.
I like that he goes, I'm siding with the computer right now.
Yeah. And then the whole hospital visit lesson. That was so cute, too. There's so many good...
Oh, that was really good. And so to think, he's not doing a good job as a dad. And for him to just be like, I'm not telling you anything. We're just going to go and we're going to sit here in this hospital.
I like that the black lady, that she just, okay, didn't even question it.
Yeah. We're going to sit here as long as it takes. And then I thought it was so adorable that she felt the pure joy in the room.
Yeah.
To where it was infectious for her.
Like how
she
saw
went
it,
over
she
goes, can I stay again?
Yeah.
Can we watch another one? And then she goes over there to share.
Yeah.
And to encourage those people. And that's what she was so awesome about. Because, yeah, she has a brain. But she's also super awesome.
Yeah, that was good. I skipped a whole section of notes because I was just enjoying the movie here. But the Foster family, I really wanted to like them. I really did.
Yeah, but...
They turned out to be...
Well, they turned out to be...
Puppets.
Yeah, puppets. Puppets would be a good word.
Because they're not necessarily bad people, but they just got manipulated.
They could seem to be very genuine. The cat thing, though, was the moment that I judged them. Yeah. I was like, they're dicks.
Yeah, I was like, are you serious?
Yeah. And I like how he's just
I didn't even pick that up.
What?
I just thought they didn't want the cat. Did you think that Grandma was at the guest house? Did you?
I didn't think Grandma was at the guest house.
No,
at all. But I just was like, why did they... I thought at first that they were just bad people.
Yeah. Yeah,
So I was happy to find out that they weren't just bad people.
Yeah.
That they were being influenced, basically, like you said.
That's how I felt. I thought they were just terrible human beings.
Yeah.
For getting rid of Fred.
Yeah.
Coolest cat ever. I also... The scene with, where he was just talking to foster dad. Mm-hmm. That was a really heart-wrenching scene when she didn't want to see Frank.
Yeah, but I
wasn't sure. Looking back at it, I don't know if it was that, actually. But.
I think that it probably was that. And the only reason why, because I was questioning it. I questioned it all the way up until the point where she was at the table with the grandmother.
Yeah.
And she still did not want him to be there.
Yeah.
That was up until that point where I got a clarity that she actually genuinely was so hurt.
Yeah.
That I actually, for a moment...
I did question
especially once the cat was gone.
Yeah.
Once the cat was gone, I really questioned whether or not she actually didn't want them to see him.
Yeah.
But he never said, you can't come here. He never said anything like that. He just said, she doesn't want to see you.
I only have a couple things left here. I did say Grandma's a witch.
She is.
You know, on Grandma's character, she is crazy. Like, she fought so hard for this girl and gave her back up for that. I get it. It's a huge...
a millennium problem.
In math, but I thought you wanted what's best for the girl. Like, obviously not. And the part where...
No, she wanted to...
wait for Grandma to die. Yeah. Wait for her mother to die.
Well, before we go to that, she wanted to make her goal, and her goal was to find that out, to figure that out. And her daughter, she was on track to do it.
Yeah.
And so, that's what she was focused on. She wasn't focused... She was looking at having money, having a house, having all of that stuff as being better care. She still
a name
had
for yourself.
An agenda.
That was a huge part for her.
Correct. She had an agenda, though, that the child was going to focus in mathematics because she's gifted. Get it. And I get you should encourage that, but encourage every other part of life as well.
Yeah.
That's where she failed. Yeah, you can supply lots of money. You got plenty of that. But look at how awesome this girl is now. And it isn't because of you. It's because of him.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, when they dropped the bombshell that they weren't gonna, she's like, I have to wait to...
post-mortem.
Yeah, I have to wait till post-mortem to publish the thing. And she's like, well, she's been dead 6 years or 7 years. He goes,
not hers.
Not hers.
Oh, it was deep.
Oh, it was
deep.
That was a shot to the heart, like hardcore.
It didn't even phase her. She was she did cry a little bit.
Okay, all right. No. I'm gonna take it slightly different. What we just talked about, her being like, well, fine. I don't want the girl anymore. I want to do this report. Maybe because she done all that to her daughter.
Okay.
Maybe that's what happened there when the daughter said, you effed up my life so bad. I finished this, killed myself.
And don't want you to get any of the satisfaction. None of the satisfaction of it. Yeah.
And technically, she didn't even want her mama to know about it.
Yeah.
Period. So maybe that's what shook her loose from that goal.
Yeah. Okay.
That makes sense, right?
Yeah. I think that fits. Wrapping up my notes, I love that she's in the Girl Scouts and was in college. That was fun.
She was in college, in the Girl Scouts, went to the Girl Scouts.
Lastly, I'm missing some closure. There's a few things. I think they should have done a little snippet, like you said in the movie, like
daughter
showed her face on that wall. That would have been good.
Yep.
Also, I think I needed closure with the teacher.
I think the smile and the nod was closure.
I don't know. It wasn't for me.
I think it was because she was like, she saw Mary come over and was excited and looked at him and smiled. And I got from her smile that it was more than just a greeting smile. I think it was I'm really excited to see you smile. And I think no, we don't know that they got together. No, we don't know any of that.
They left it up. That's okay.
But I think that, I'm not saying there was closure. But I'm saying...
I think the sister thing definitely should have been closed out. Give her, some glory.
Oh.
Put her face on the wall.
Yeah, absolutely. But I agree fully. And I don't know, maybe it wasn't, maybe it happened, maybe it didn't happen. But if it did happen in real life, since it's based off of a true story, why didn't they just show it at the end? Why didn't they just give her a credit at the end?
I actually didn't know this was based on a true story.
Isn't it based on true events? Didn't it say at the beginning?
I didn't catch it if it did, but it could have very well. Had my phone taking notes and stuff. So. But, alright. I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. Do you have any other thoughts? The little girl's character was awesome.
Yeah, she was phenomenal.
I hope she can.
And, I can't say this. Her eyelashes are crazy. Little girl's eyelashes are like a mile long.
Yeah.
They're real cute. But, yeah, she did a phenomenal job because she was so believable. So believable. Oh, and I like the lawyers. I like both lawyers, even. But I liked his lawyer.
Yeah. I like that,
She said something.
The black lady.
Couldn't even get a white lawyer.
Yeah, that was really funny.
Oh, my goodness. That was a big one. Yeah, it was good. No, I think it's definitely one of the better movies this year.
Yes. It was a really...
It gives me something to aspire to as far as how chill to be.
Where do you think Rotten Tomatoes is on this?
I feel like I already looked it up. It was pretty low. Because when I create the event, it was pretty low. I feel.
Rotten Tomatoes.
It's 80-something% for the audience, and I feel like they were 30-something%.
64.
They were 64, and it's 80-something for the people, though, right?
I didn't go into it.
Well, I'll go into it right here. So I got it right here.
All right. How do you think it did? I don't even know what numbers to put on this, so I think this part will get better over time. What do you think it did opening weekend?
I don't know. I figure 10, 11 million.
I don't even know what ballpark to go in.
I just saw it. It was 10 points.
Oh, you cheater.
Well, I had seen it right when you were asking the question. It wasn't intentional.
I was say it right.
Yeah, it says box office 10.7 million.
Or is that opening?
I don't know. It just says 10.7 million box office. Chris Evans. I know it's Chris. Couldn't remember his last name. Chris Evans is his name, by the way. And it is Octavia. I could remember Octavia.
Opening weekend. Oh, it was a limited opening weekend. The limited opening weekend was a whopping 446,000. The wide opening weekend was 3 million, though.
This is funny.
That was a really good film, but it just...
Evelyn, was that the teacher's name?
No, that was the grandma, wasn't it?
Oh, Evelyn, yeah. Two Vicious.
Did you look up the...
I'm looking at the critics' reviews, and this guy was a Rotten Tomato.
All right. You ready for the message of the movie?
Sure. The gifts of a child should be fostered.
Are you ahead of me?
With a clear understanding of the need for the child to be allowed to be a child. Yeah, it's all in my event.
Oh.
Everything's here.
You're killing me. You know everything before we even start the movie.
Well, I'll put it in there for people. I don't have to put message in there anymore.
It's okay.
Well, it was just kind of funny because in case anybody reads these, I just think it's kind of fun. They look pretty. Don't you think? Yeah. Oh, I love the scene where they took the boat out. She goes, "Do you think we need to test the boat? Make sure it works?"
Oh, Fred went with him.
Yeah, Fred was with him. She's like, "I'll go get Fred." Or he's like, "Go get Fred." Don't run.
Instantly ran again.
But no, I love the part where they went out to the sandbar and just were chilling at low tide, and it's just, God, it was just so fun. That was just fun. That was a good movie.
I say watch it.
Say watch what?
That's my rating.
Oh, to your viewers? Oh, heck yeah, everyone should watch it. Everyone should watch it.
All right, next week.
Next week, The Circle. It's going to be another movie about Google. It was about Google tonight.
I felt like, and then I also wonder, like, sometimes, because, people pay for advertisements, and I like to look for them. Like, people pay to be in films, And I was wondering if Bud Light are advertising this one.
Right.
Because the label is just just there.
Well, it even has old F-150. They took the Ford logo off the front.
Oh, it did?
Yeah,
Okay.
They didn't have the Ford logo on the front.
That's interesting. I liked the old truck.
Me too.
Alright, well, that's all I got.
Yep, I think it was good. Go out and watch it. If you haven't seen it already, watch it. Just know that it's good. It makes you feel good about being a person. Well, or makes you feel bad about how bad of a job you're doing. Either way.
And we're out.
Bye.
You've been listening to Stoplight Spoilers with Isaiah and Jake. I really appreciate your time, and we look forward to hearing from you. You can drop us a line at stoplightspoilers@gmail.com or check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/stoplightspoilers. Until next time, see ya. Sorry, lost my train of thought. Yeah.
But, that one I thought was funny.
Yeah.
You know.
Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, never mind.